Hi, I'm Dawn Grace Jones. I am a registered nurse. I've worked ER, ICU, risk management, high-tech home health. I've worked in many areas of nursing. I've worked in leadership as an assistant nurse manager of an ICU. Risk legal, as I've stated. I've worked in many areas and I love nursing and nurses and what we stand for and what we do and what we're all about. I realize we care for everyone but ourselves often. And our goal in Nurses Revive and Thrive is to try to bring it all home, right? This is our community. So we can talk about whatever we want, we can do what we want, and we can make things happen. So this is one of the segments to answer a question. The question was whether I currently practice. What I do as a nurse is I lecture. I lecture to medical students, nursing students, nurses, whomever. I lecture on self-care. I lecture on the electronic health record. I lecture on many different things with documentation, on leadership, on all sorts of things. I lecture to groups, critical care nurses, ER nurses, the whole population together, OR, wherever. But I was also asked what I thought about the hospital systems in South Florida, because that's where I am, right? So I'm an attorney. I sit on the bench as a magistrate deciding cases. I do a lot of consulting with nurses, though, which keeps me into all different levels because I get to talk to nurses about contracts and PTO and family leave and whatever else that may come up, all sorts of issues in leadership and not, right? But with that, I understand our systems in South Florida generally. I've worked in some of them. I know nurses that work in them, and I can tell you that most of the hospitals, and I say most because nobody can speak for every hospital, but most of the systems in South Florida are very diverse. They are very warm and welcoming generally. Nowhere is perfect. There's not a hospital system or place that you can go to that would be perfect. But most of the systems have themes. And the system promotes and encourages the theme. And they're usually very inspirational, right? And we need that. We always need inspiration wherever we go. And yes, they are diverse. And yes, most of them deliver great quality health care. If you had a consultation with me and you told me about a particular hospital you were thinking about, we can do that. We can talk about that. But I can tell you generally, I can talk generally that most of the systems are awesome. Yes, some of them are known and ranked and some of them aren't. Some of them are, well, all of them are parts of systems. All of the hospitals are parts of systems, right? I don't want to start naming systems because I'll probably leave something out. So I'm not going to do that. But there are systems. And I've been to different ERs and the different systems, and they've all been great. I'm going to be honest with you. There are one or two hospitals that, I don't know, they need some improvement just generally, and they have great nurses, but they have some that just aren't where they need to be, and I know that. Again, that's everywhere you go. But South Florida has some of the best hospital systems there are. South Florida has some of the best nurses that there are, and I know there are great nurses all over, right? But I'm just saying, because I was asked about this area, that yes, it is an area that would be great to come to. One thing is we have awesome weather in the South as far as South Florida, tropical. I'm not talking about Southern, I'm talking about tropical. And South Florida is in a location where we're near a lot of the islands. So you have a lot of people from many of the islands here. And so it's a very diverse population. There's a heavy Spanish-speaking population, and then there are others who don't speak Spanish. And everybody's in here together, right? So that's who makes up South Florida. Everybody and anybody. Very transient area, but yet very stable area. So just giving you a little talk on that. For you new nurses thinking about going to South Florida, go to South Florida. Come to South Florida. For you older nurses, come to South Florida. But what you may want to do is take a short assignment in the area first. Check it out. You may go to one hospital and realize you really want to be somewhere else. Finish your assignment, then go to the other hospital. So you have options, right? And that's just some of the ideas, some of your options. But you take care of yourself. This is Dawn Grace Jones. I know nursing. I know nurses. I love nursing. Okay? I love nurses. You take care. We revive and we get revived and we thrive because we're nurses. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.